So moving on to question 2 from the June 2011 S3 exam. So this applies now for the new Further Stats 1 and Further Stats 2 module. So this is question 2, and it's a question on Spearman's rank correlation coefficient. It's quite a mouthful. And then part B is asking for a hypothesis test. So how do we do this? Well, on the new spec now, you're actually allowed to do this on your calculator. On the old spec, you were supposed to show working, but on the new spec, it's expected that you just do it on your calculator, and it makes it so much easier. So the way to do Spearman's rank, let me just change my pencil black first. What you need to do is you need to order them. So this is the rank bit. So what we've got to do is look at both the lists that we're working with. So we've got H here, and then C here. So what we need to do is we need to order both of these individual lists. So what you should get, so starting with the smallest, so you start with the smallest, go up to the biggest. So this is going to be number 1. This will be number 2. This will be number 3. This will be number 4. This will be 5. This will be 6. And this will be 7. So that's my first list done. And then let's go through the next one. So this will be number 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 5 will be here. 6 will be here. And then 7. So nice and easy. We've done most of the work now, believe it or not, for 6 marks. So you're not going to get quite as many marks for this on the new spec, because like I said, you were supposed to show working, but I'm just going to show how you actually do this. So order both lists, and then what you do is, so let me just change this back to white. So what you do now on your calculator, so you'll have list 1, so I just want to put L1, and then you'll have L2 on your calculator. So this is list 1, this is list 2. In list 1, put this list. So you're going to put 1, 5, 2, 3, and then so on. And then same here in list 2, but do it with this list. So it's going to be 4, 3, 2, 1, and then so on. Just make sure you enter the list correctly. If you enter the list incorrectly, you're going to get the wrong value for your correlation coefficient. And now, put this in on your calculator. So what you do, so I'm going to get my calculator up. So you're going to put in calc. So this is for the Casio graphical calculator. So you're going to click calc. You click calc. So by the way, this is on the stats mode. So you press calc, and then you're going to press reg for regression. So you press reg, then you press the big X. So it's the very first one on most of them. Press X, and then you're going to press A plus BX. You can press the other one, but I'm used to pressing this one. So A plus BX. And what you should get is that R is 0.5. And there we go. So that's part A done. We have the rank value, 0.5. And then for part B, we need to perform the hypothesis test. So I put the values down here that we're going to need, but you'll need these. You'll need a formula book for these style questions, but you've got to do the hypothesis test. So what we need to do first, because it's a hypothesis test, set up our H0 and our H1. So H0. So remember, because it's correlation, it's going to be rho, like that. It doesn't look normally quite that bad. So we're checking that there's no correlation. So my H0 is going to be less than 0. And if there's no correlation, that means rho will not be equal to 0. Like that. So then my hypothesis set up. Well, what we need to do now is get the values, right? That we're going to compare it to, this critical value. So these are the values that we actually need from the formula book. You sometimes might need more, because obviously we only have a sample of 7 here, so I can just stop at 7. Now this is a 5% test, but because it's a two-tailed test, we work with half of that. So this is going to be 0.025. And then we've got to check the sample size. So this is a sample size of 7. So this 0.7857 is going to be what we compare it to. So C dot V, 0.7857. So we've got to compare it to that. Is this bigger than or less than? So, because this is less than, so 0.5 is less than 0.7857. That looks quite messy, but that's a 7 there. 0.7857. What we can say is that there's insufficient evidence to reject H0, so therefore the claim is supported. So we've got insufficient evidence, put insuff evidence, and that the councillor's claim is correct. That's evidence. Claim gets a big tick from me. And that's question 2 done. So that's the test complete and part A done as well.